This is Central Texas Living with Ann Harder.
Hello, everybody. Ann Harder here. You know, music is doing great in Central Texas again. Live music, kind of had a rough time with the pandemic, and local musicians weren't doing a lot. But the Music Association of Central Texas is a big part of what's supporting these live musicians. And I'm so happy to welcome to the podcast today Casey Stanislaw and Monica Shannon, who are both on the board. And, relatively new position for you, Casey, right? President of the board?
Yes, as of June, I am the new president of the board. I actually live in Cameron, so shout out to all my Cameron homies. But Top Clark recruited me for the board and then called me back 2 weeks later and said, would you mind being vice president? So that was a little over a year ago. So yes, I'm happy to be the president. Monica here is our secretary, and we got a great event coming up that we're anxious to talk about and promote.
Well, that's right. And it involves Salado, which is one of my favorite places, and a Barrow Brewing. So let's go ahead and talk about the festival.
Well, it's called the Music and Arts Festival. We have a great headliner. Hold this up with the camera.
There you go.
Patricia Vaughn, Vonne. She's a fabulous artist, and she's in the Austin, San Antonio area. She's actually internationally known. She is going to close out the evening for us. And so praying for good weather. We're going to have live music on 2 stages all day and artists.
And Patricia Vaughn is Hispanic artist as well. So she sings in both English and in Spanish. Really good sound. It's amazing that she's even able to get this in for us. And being that it's the weekend before Thanksgiving, she had a time off. And so we're very lucky to have her. So yeah, Patricia Vaughn will be our headliner. We do have a lot of things going on all day. The event is on Saturday, November the 20th. And it's at in Salado at Barrow's Brewing Company. And it starts as early as at 11 o'clock. We'll have an artist market going on from 11 until 5. And music starts at noon. And we'll have live music all day until 10 p.m. And it's a free event for everyone to attend. It's a family environment. Beautiful scenery at Barrow's Brewing in Salado. It's just amazing. So we hope everyone can attend. It's open invitation to absolutely everybody in Central Texas.
This is kind of your first big event, right?
Well, it's as president, it's like my first event.
Yeah, we've done other festivals.
Things shut down,
Yeah.
and so you musicians were up a creek, just weren't playing. Yeah,
it was a trying time. I tried to stay productive, and I think those of us who were just trying to play and maybe practice with our bands, I did some writing last year. So I've got a few new tunes that I'm working on. Maybe in 2022, those will come out. But yes, and so it's really great for us to be able to do this festival. And people are anxious for it. They're clamoring for live music. And I want to point out we're having music on 2 stages. So there's an indoor stage and an outdoor stage.
But this is all at Barrow's.
All at Barrow. Mm-hmm. And so Barrow, on the inside, we're going to be in the tap room, and it's going to be mostly acoustic on the inside.
Yeah.
And on the outside, of course, we'll have the main stage. But if it rains, we're still going to go inside. We'll still have music inside all day.
Well, the Farmer's Almanac says it's going to be beautiful. So,
well, let's go with that.
Yeah,
let us go with that. And what a great opportunity. So, who are some of the other bands that will be performing?
Well, my band, KCD Band, will be playing. Also, Madstone is a temple-based band. Let's see, you've got John and Faith Austin, Jonna and the Mayflies. John and May will be there.
Mm-hmm. Oh, good. John and May.
Warren Brothers will be playing.
Oh, are they good? Good.
Let's see. Cloud Anchor, Midnight Tradesman. Dana Spigner will have a set himself, an acoustic set. A great band out of Belton called Martian Folk. I don't know if you ever heard those guys, but they'll be playing. Frank Exum, our good friend, the classical guitarist.
Oh, love Frank. Yeah. He played a birthday song for me on Facebook one day.
He's amazing.
I just love
him. We love Frank.
John Holt in the Soundwaves. John's based out of Temple area, and he has a band with his son. And they're called the Soundwaves. The Resistors, Richard Paul Thomas. Everybody knows Richard Paul from Salado. He's going to do an acoustic set for us. Scott Taylor, Justin Bravo. We already said the Armoyan Brothers, Wes Perryman, and a friend of ours from Fort Worth, although he's not based in Temple Waco, named Denver Williams, is an up-and-coming artist up there. and he's going to come down and play an acoustic set for us.
You know, far reach
Yes.
then with your musicians.
Yes,
you've
we are
got.
really excited about showcasing these artists in Central Texas at this time.
And I would assume a variety of styles of music,
Very
from
much
country
so.
to folk or whatever.
Yeah, it's a lot of Americana, soft rock, folk. It's a good mix. It's going to be, a really great time. Diverse type of music, the people as well as the artist. On the artist market, we'll have potters. We've got jewelry makers.
Oh, it's a full-blown festival.
Yeah. Cameron Trading Company has 2 booths, so they're going to be taking a lot of their
Really?
antiques. So,
Yeah.
and what's also neat about Salado that day is the Glassworks company, Salado Glassworks.
It was right there, right across the
Yes, it's
street,
exciting
yeah.
because they're having a big event of blow your own Christmas ornament that day.
You better sign up though if you want to do
That's
that because
right.
they fill up if you're
They
thinking you
do,
might
but
want to do that.
it's just fun to even watch.
Oh, I know. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
absolutely.
I love it. It's just amazing to see how that works. So people can see all kinds of things in Salado that day. There'll be so much going on. And the festival will have food vendors, artists market, of course, beer on tap, and they've got some fabulous beer and music all day. So
And if you haven't been to Salado to Barrow, they have the property that goes from there all the way down to the creek.
Right.
So all of this green area that down to Salado Creek.
very scenic.
It's
beautiful,
very scenic. It's
Yeah,
laid
take
back,
your picnic
for sure.
things and your
pet friendly.
Right, exactly. It is
Yes.
pet friendly. Well,
I always see dogs, a lot of dogs when I'm at Barrow.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Well, it's no secret that I do love Salado. In fact, I said they should put me on the Chamber of Commerce for Salado because I love it so much. And it's great to see this is a little village that had struggled for a number of reasons, and it's coming back. And so I'm
Truly
so
coming
glad to
back.
see
Yeah.
that's where because you could have planned this a number of places, I guess.
Sure. We cover all of Central Texas, sort of a 70-mile radius around Waco. So Salado is just on the cusp of that, but they are included, obviously. And so it's, and what a beautiful, scenic, just, it's going to be amazing. So.
Well, there are a lot of Bell County musicians, as you say. There are a lot of folks down there who are members of MACT. And
Yes.
so, yeah.
And MACT has mainly been a Waco centric for the most part. And so for one thing, it's branching out a little bit, trying to spread our wings. But secondly, the main reason we're doing Salado is because Katie Hill, shout out to her, who is the owner, she and her husband,
And
of Barrow Brewing.
she's been on this podcast, yeah.
Katie is just,
They're wonderful. They are wonderful.
Oh, they're so music centric
Friendly.
and friendly, and they already have a great scene there. So it's not like we're recreating the wheel. We're just following on of something that's already been done.
Yeah, bigger and better.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about the organization itself. Monica, you're also on the board.
Yes, I've been on the board for about 4 years, so a little bit longer
What
than
got you
Casey.
involved in this?
Well, I've been involved in the art scene here in Central Texas with Texas Fine Artists. And in fact, if anyone is interested in still becoming a vendor, they can just email us at texasfineartists, plural, at gmail.com. And I'll be happy to reach out to them and give them, we still have a few artist booths left. But being in the arts, and then obviously with the pandemic, there's not a far reach to work with painters and photographers as it is to work with musicians. So it was a natural transition for me. And being very involved in the community and doing a lot of outreach. The board top at that time just thought I would be an excellent asset to the organization. And I have the founder's blessing as well, Johnny Bradshaw.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Stars over Texas,
Exactly.
Jamboree.
Every time I see him, he's just like, oh, so glad you're on the board.
I know they are.
So
I know they are.
I love it. It's just so much fun. I get to work with cool musicians and I get to talk to you, and I just really enjoy it a lot. So my heart goes out, and I want to do whatever I can so that to showcase the artist, whether they're musicians or painters. And we're doing a great job of that. We did it a couple of times in 2019. We had a block party on Austin Avenue.
I remember that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was a lot of fun, and
yeah.
everyone said we should do it again in the fall, so
Yeah.
we did.
Yeah.
And that was fall of 2019, right before the pandemic. So here we are coming out with a debut, and
it was a wonderful success. I remember having
much.
Top on the TV show
That's
when
right.
Central Texas Living was still on the air. And of course, you never know when you have a first time event how it's going to go. And I think they were really blown away with the
We
response.
were. It was so much fun. The excitement, the buzz was tremendous. So we had a great time, and we're expecting the same results, if not better, and then make this an annual event that we'll do every year at Salado.
Always do it in Salado.
And-
I was going to say, or
yeah.
you want to move it around?
Well, I mean, who knows?
possible.
We might. But, Salado's such a good fit for us.
Yeah.
And if this goes well, I think, we want to go back to Salado. If it's okay, I want to mention our other board members.
Sure.
Of course, we have Top and Tamara Clark. Top is our president emeritus, and I'm taking the reins from him. Of course, Tamara is our treasurer. Our vice president is James Stone. James lives down in Temple, and his band is Madstone. We've got John Holt on the board as well. Also, Dana Spigner's on our board. And then, besides Monica, one of the other non-musicians. It's important to have non-musicians on your board because we get a little, focus.
Well, and they kind of provide a little balance, maybe.
Brenda Light, who is the
Yeah.
facilities coordinator down at Lockwood, she is on our board. Actually, Brenda, I want to
good,
just
yeah.
say that Brenda designed this logo and the poster.
Oh,
We love it.
That's great.
So
yeah.
really
Amazing.
pleased with the way it came out.
Very
So-
talented. Yeah, and what I like about the organization itself is that it also is supportive of the venues and the venue owners, because without these places for you guys to play.
Yes, and I almost forgot. Chris Ermolian is also on the board.
Yeah. Okay, good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, well, this is a great comeback, I guess, for you guys to plan this festival. Coming up again, the date is
November 20th. It's on Saturday, November 20th. That's the Saturday before Thanksgiving. So it'll be a fun time for all.
Oh,
Come
it's going to
by
be fun.
early Christmas presents.
Yeah.
Well,
for sure.
there's great shopping, of course, in Salado, and what a fun place to go and kind of knock some of that out as well as listen to some great music. Speaking of which, we're going to take a little quick break, and when we come back,
I've got a single coming
Casey,
out.
you've got a single coming out, and you said you've been doing some writing and rehearsing and all that during the pandemic. But we're going to hear the fruits of that work.
Well, this single is actually a few years old, but we did a live taping on Texas Music Cafe a year ago, back in November of 2020. And so I'm just now getting around to releasing it. So it'll be out on Friday, the 5th, November 5th. It's called Funky by Dark.
All right, stay with us, and we'll take a quick break and then come back and hear Funky by Dark.
Hey, I'm April,
Hey, I'm Caroline, and this is Bloody Happy Hour.
your newest true crime comedy podcast.
So grab your favorite drink and join us every week for Thirsty Thursday.
We promise to tell you the bloodiest stories and give you a laugh in between. Go find us, follow us, and subscribe anywhere you get your podcasts. Cause guess what?
We about to be sipping on some murder.
F-Bomb. This is Mandy and the F-Bomb, where we shed light on stories and invite you to find your place and purpose in the world of foster care. Through my involvement with families involved in foster care and being a foster mom myself, I've learned that it's the things that wreck us the most profoundly that can stitch us back together into the best, purpose-filled versions of ourselves. Tune in to Mandy and the F-Bomb. It's stories that invite you in to find your place and purpose in the world of foster care. You can find us anywhere you get podcasts or at roguemedianetwork.com. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss a thing.
This song goes out to all our friends in Fort Worth, which is also known as Funky Town. I don't know if you knew that.
No, I didn't know that.
That's what all the cool kids call Fort Worth.
All right.
Anyhow, it's a song about trying to be cool before you're too old. I checked the forecast this morning, said sleep was gonna fly. The wind would be howling and the water rising high. Well, I tuned up the Tahoe. We piled inside like Noah's Ark. Noah's Ark. Gonna get this beast rolling. We won't make funky by dark. Funky by dark. Well, I heard you had to say that my game's too slow. We'll never win the pennant, and that's how baseball goes. Well, I'm sick of never made it stick. We messed around, we hit the ground, we never found a sound that did the trick. Girl, put on that little band from Texas, it'll set the mood just right. Put on those cheap sunglasses and that sweater, kinda tight. Grab that 57 strap, this time we're gonna leave a mark. Gonna leave a mark. Gonna beat these losers out of town and make funky by dark. Funky by dark. Well, too loud, too pumped, too proud, we but the crowd never made it stick. We messed around, we hit the ground, we finally found a sound that did the trick. Girl, put on that little band from Texas, it'll set the mood just right. Put on those cheap sunglasses and that sweater, kinda tight. Grab that 57 strap, this time we're gonna leave a mark. We're gonna make our mark. Gonna beat these losers out of town and make funky by dark. Yeah, when you smell that rubber burning, when you smell that rubber burning, when you smell that rubber burning, you know it made funky by dark. Funky by dark.
Oh, man.
Bravo.
Thank you. Thank you.
That's wonderful. Casey Stanislaw, Funky by Dark. So
KCD band.
And the name of your band is
KCD band. I'm crazy.
KCD Band.
That's it.
Well, tell me about the rest of your bandmates.
Well, we've got a great little combo. So I'm the frontman, singer-songwriter. I play rhythm. My drummer is a guy from Temple. Great drummer. He's like 30 years old. Joshua Sperling. He's a jazz drummer, product of Temple College. And our bass player on the other end of the spectrum, he's in his 70s. His name's Tom Jones, real Tom Jones, not the
Not the other guy, yeah.
I got a keyboard player from Cameron. He's a wonderful keyboard player. His name is Jaden Oliver. He actually lives in Cameron. And then most recently, this summer, we started. Our lead guitar player has become Frank Exum. So everybody knows Frank.
Good. I didn't know he was playing with you guys.
He is playing with us now.
That's great.
And it's a pleasure to play with him. That guy can.
He can do anything.
I like to say he can go from Bach to Black Sabbath at the push of a pedal. So
Well said. Well said.
We're
Well
going to
said.
have to quote that one. Maybe make him Frank X some meme out of it or something.
from Bach
Yeah,
to
he'd
Black
like
Sabbath. So yeah. But yes, thanks for asking,
Yeah.
man. It's if you want to check us out, KCD Music TX, KCDmusicTX.com. So go and find us. And yeah, we'll be playing, and not to take anything away from all the other great artists.
Oh, you
that are
got a
gonna
lot
be-
of folks playing.
Oh my gosh, it's going to be great, and we're really excited.
Well, the Artist of the Month Showcase is something we've been doing every month for about a year almost.
Yeah.
And there's actually going to be some of the bands that are performing our Artist of the Month Showcase that we're
Yeah.
going to be.
Okay, so tell me more about that.
Casey?
Well, we really started this during the shutdown. We're just trying to find a way to publicize some of the bands that weren't getting to play.
Right.
And so on our website and on our Facebook page, we publicize them. Coming up here, and I hope I don't leave anybody out, John Austin is going to be one of our Artists of the Month coming up. Scott Taylor as well. So, yeah, we're really excited about that. And again, it's just a way for us to try to, our mission is to promote and support live music. And, this festival is just all about.
So tell me about the mission.
The mission of MACT is to promote and support live music. So our Artist of the Month was a way for us to get some of the artists who couldn't play and get their name out and try to, do something during the pandemic. Also, we did some Texas Music Cafe tapings. And that was something that happened last fall in 2020. And so some of the artists around here got to do that. And, we're still trying to work with Chris Armoyan and Texas Music Cafe to do some more of those. And this festival then is sort of an extension. We're not where we want to be. It's an extension of what we're trying to do. We're trying to grow the organization. We're trying to create an artist or musician sort of community where we can call on each other and help each other out. So we hope that the festival is a big step in that direction to sort of let us all come back together. And, when musicians get together, this is that you just never know what's going to happen. Somebody has a guitar and somebody has a tambourine or didgeridoo. I mean, whatever. And then
And you start making music.
There's going to be something happening. And you're going to be singing out here on the
Stars Over Texas Jamboree.
In December,
in December, the December Christmas show.
Cool.
Yeah, looking forward to that. It's always fun, and it's an opportunity for me again to to be around local musicians and kind of hear their stories and see how things are progressing for them. Again, the shutdown was really a problem though, because folks nobody was getting out, nobody could go play, and now are you seeing that people are wanting to get back to how it was before?
Well, what I noticed about our Facebook page, our group page is really for members, and our Facebook page is for the public. And what I noticed that we're seeing more and more is people say, hey, I play drum, I'm looking for a band, and they're collaborating and meeting up with each other.
Yeah.
So that's one of the things we're really proud of, because we can bring those kinds of opportunities together for musicians in Central Texas, some that we know and some that we don't. They're still able to use our vehicle to help them get together and create some music.
So how big is the membership?
Well, we've been around since 1999, so I don't have the exact numbers, but it's well over 100 members throughout the whole Central Texas area.
Right,
and,
it's several county
and
area.
it's growing, yeah, because they're seeing the opportunities that the Artist of the Month Showcase, working with Texas Music Cafe, and that's going in a whole great direction. And then with Music Association and all the bands that we know, even like Casey said that his band is now featuring Frank Exum as a guitarist. So those are some of the collaborations that can happen.
Well, yes, and I'll tell you my experience of being a musician, hanging around musicians. It doesn't matter if you're a kid starting out in playing in your bedroom or you're a virtuoso opera singer. There's one thing that all musicians want: a gig.
Yeah, they want to perform. They just want to perform.
So I'm really happy to say this lineup, besides our headliner, we felt like we wanted to get a good headliner to sort of anchor the whole thing. Mm-hmm. But they're all local bands. They're all local.
Oh, yeah.
All local acts, and really proud of that fact. So, and I'm sorry to those that might be listening in that didn't get on the bill this time.
Yeah, how did you do that? How did you decide?
I delegated that.
We formed a committee.
Sorry, it wasn't me.
Yeah, we formed a committee that siphoned through it. So.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, so.
Well, I want to talk a little bit more about your music career. When did you know you wanted to be a musician?
Well, I'm pushing 60 now, and so I've been a singer for years. I mean, I sang barbershop and choir and campfire stuff, and I've been a strummer. And then about 5-6 years ago, I got serious about my songwriting. So I wrote a bunch of tunes, and I made an EP back in 2018. And so that EP, I did it as a bucket list. I'm going to make my album. And my son, who is a guitar player, and his friends in Fort Worth helped me make it. And it just turned out way better than I ever thought it could, mainly because of the people that played on it. And so I started thinking to myself, well, maybe I ought to just run with this for a little while, So that's kind of where I am now. I'm just having fun, and the luckiest guy in the world. And there's nothing more fun than having a band that wants to play, that you can play with, and that wants to play your songs. And so it's a really great collaborative thing. I'm bringing a little tune to the guys, and they're like, "Oh, this is pretty cool, but why don't we try this?" I'm like,
right? Yeah, and that's when the collaborative process really brings about something real special.
That's one of the things I like about the lineup here is that they're all performers.
Right.
You can be a great musician and sound amazing on the radio, but a performer
Connects with the audience.
Yes,
Yeah.
and they bring everything to life, and the crowd starts getting closer and closer
Yeah.
to the stage, and
they're dancing
And that's
or
what I
whatever.
love about
Yeah.
our lineup. We've got some fantastic musicians that are really performers.
Yeah. Now, again, this is coming up.
November the 20th, on Saturday, November 20th. It starts at 11 in the morning, and it goes until 10 p.m. at night.
All right, and you've got a very special headliner. Let's talk about her again.
Patricia Vaughn, again, Vonne. She's a wonderful singer-songwriter. She's been in the movies. She's been around for 20 years or so. And she has a great sort of Latin country rock and roll vibe. It's like...
It's very unique.
Yeah.
and so she does sing some in Spanish. Like she did an album a few years ago that was all in Spanish. That was more... But it wasn't really... It's more... I don't know how to describe it. It's not necessarily the kind of Tejano norteño stuff that you get here, that we hear a lot here. It's
I like the way you pronounce that, Casey.
norteño.
Norteño.
It sounded good. Yeah.
Her style is a little bit more. It's just a little bit more international, I would say.
Yeah, it does have a Hispanic flair, and it's just very strong and powerful. And she's a dynamic performer, excellent singer. If you get a chance to listen to her, please Google her or YouTube her, Patricia Vaughn, Vonne. There's some samples out there for you to listen to, and she's going to bring a crowd too, so we're excited about that.
And about what time will she be playing?
8 o'clock.
8
or so.
o'clock.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you've got a great lineup. You've got a lot of fun stuff that's going to be happening on the 20th
Yes.
of November in Salado at Barrow Brewing Company, which is right kind of in the heart of town. You can't miss it.
is.
Across from the Stagecoach Inn, of course, the Salado Glassworks right down there, and lots of fun stuff. Great reason to go to Salado. There's just always a good reason to go
Wonderful
to
town.
Salado, but
agree.
especially this one. So how can folks become a member of MACT?
Well, they can reach out through our organization's website. It's mactx.org. They can also contact.
Well, you can find us on Facebook.
Yeah.
And then you can call Monica, I suppose.
No, don't do
Yeah, go ahead and give her a number.
But let's go ahead. We've already given the email out once, but
Right.
that's contact her. But also, especially if you have an artist booth,
For sure.
TexasFineArtists@gmail.com, and you wanna participate in that. $50 for a booth.
Yeah.
Oh, that's reasonable.
Very reasonable for all day, 6 hours worth of selling. So
And lots of folks be there
everyone wins.
as well.
Yay.
Well, I'm just so thrilled to get to speak with you and to hear how well things are going, not only for local musicians, but MACT
Thank you
as
so
well.
much.
Monica Shannon, Casey Stanislaw.
Thank you.
It's going to be good. And thanks for sharing your music with us.
It's always looking for a gig again. I never met a microphone I didn't like.
I love it. I love it. You sound like me. Well, it's great to have you guys, and I look forward to the event. It's going to be a lot of fun.
All right, thank you.